Okay, so we have two tables here, FM towns and students. And we're going to take a look at them together. Now, before I do that, I want to begin with an update on students, and I'm going to set the hometown equal to St. Johnsville, but not for everybody. Just where the F name equals Josh, because apparently Josh he just moved to St. Johnsville. Now, I want to take a look at this because I have students over here, which has F name, hometown, and major, and FM towns that has town and county. And relationships have to be based on something in common. So, hometown and town both have some of the same names. Some of the same towns like Johnstown, Amsterdam, Gloversville, and so on. Now, if we had wanted to enforce referential integrity, which we don't, what it comes down to is you could allow students to pick their hometown from this list, but it would have to already exist in FM towns. Of course, not everybody lives in Fulton or Montgomery County, so we wouldn't want to do that. But that's what referential integrity would mean. It would it would have to already exist in the one table before you're allowed to enter it in the other table. We're not going to checkbox that. And when we join, we're going to begin with only rows that have joined fields from both tables are equal. So in other words, where there's a match is what that really means. That's what we're going to begin with. And so we need to link hometown to town. The way we're going to do that in MySQL is we're going to say select students.fname, fmtowns.town, fmtowns.county. I'm not done, so I go on to the next line. From students, join FM town. So we're going to join these two. And there it is. On students.hometown equals fmtowns.town. So by doing that, wherever there's a match, wherever they're equal, it's going to show up. So there are people from other counties, from other towns, that don't show up. These are the people who have a matching town. Edward is from Amsterdam. Amsterdam is from Montgomery County. Eric is from Gloversville. Gloversville is from Fulton County. Now, let's go back and select students.fname, FM Towns Town, FM Towns County. From students, join FM Towns. So it's the same thing we have. But I've added where fmtowns.county equals Fulton. So I joined and I saw I had both, but then by adding this, I only get the Fulton County people. So you can have not only an on clause, but also a where clause. So let's go back and take a look at that. Select students, fname, fmtowns.town. So I'm selecting the town from the FM Towns field, table. The county, okay. From students, join FM Towns, where the student's hometown equals fmtowns.town. Now, in this case, I'm doing a left join. It's slightly different. So what happens is the left join takes everything from the first table, students.fname, all of them, and it takes all the fmtowns.towns, not just the matching, but it shows all the people that are not matching, that have null. So Alex, Mark, Frank, Jesse, Matt, and Celeste are not from Fulton or Montgomery counties, but they still exist. Now I've changed this. Instead of saying students.fname and fmtowns.town, I said students.hometown. That way I can actually see where Alex, Mark, and so on are from. They're still null for county because we don't know where Galway or Rotterdam or Saratoga exists. We just know Fulton, Montgomery towns. Now, select star from FM towns where county equals Montgomery and town like Ville. I was taking that just to show you we have a St. Johnsville here. But this is in the county, in the FM towns table. But let's look at the student table, because it turns out we have a hometown like Johnsville. We found that Josh is from St. Johnsville, but Matt is from St. Johnsville spelled differently. It's going to have impact. Students.hometown, students, okay, so what we're doing here is we see that Josh is showing up from St. Johnsville, Montgomery County, but Matt is not showing up. We don't know what county he's from, because he's from a town called St. Johnsville. So if they are not a match, even though they might mean the same thing, they're not a match, so it doesn't work. Now I'm going to insert into FM Towns one more town and county. That is, Galway is the town and Saratoga is the county. Remember, Mark is from Galway here. So now when I go back and take a look at it, Mark, Galway, Saratoga shows up. So when you run a query, it automatically will update as needed and as expected as the data changes. But here what I'm going to say is let's select those students' F name in the town and the county. From the students, left join FM Towns on the student hometown equals FM Towns.town. Got that. There's my where conditional though, where town is null. So these are the people that are now null for town, in this case because I did FM Towns.town. I could have said where county is null. In fact, that's what I do on this case, because here I'm using their students.hometown, so I need to see where we don't know where their county is. Now I can do a right join rather than a left join. A right join is going to match all towns and counties, but only the matching F names. So many of the towns, like Ames, there is nobody from Ames that's in our list. Same thing with Orisville or Burtonville or Canajoharie or Charleston. All of them. So when the student, now when I did it here, even though student.fname is not even in my list, I can still put that in the where conditional. So what this is just showing me is a list of towns and their county where there are no students. Now, just a little something different here. Create table towns as select star from FM Towns. That will actually give me a whole nother table called towns, but when I do it, when I describe towns, you'll notice that the ID field is not a primary key. It just didn't copy that way. So how are we going to fix that? Alter table towns, drop column ID. So we get rid of it. Now we only have town and county. And then we alter table towns, add column ID, integer, primary key not null, auto increment, and the word first says put it first in the list. And now you see that when we describe towns, the ID, town, and county all show up.